Hey Flosstube, thanks for stopping by my channel. My name is Shiloh and I am a cross stitcher and knitter living in Nova Scotia, Canada. You can find me on Instagram as @Xstitchmd and on Ravelry as @Dr. Shiloh. I'll have links below to both of my social media pages as well as all of the projects I talk about today. If you're new to my channel, I talk a lot about cross stitch and knitting, and you're probably going to be enabled to either start a new project or buy something. Sorry, not sorry. I love to start all the projects, and so yeah, I'm just trying to get everyone else to do that too. So it's been about a month since my last video, and life just kind of got away from me. Work has been a bit more busy the past few weeks. For those of you who don't know, I am a psychiatry resident, so I completed medical school 3 years ago now, and I'm in the process of my psychiatry residency. Our academic year switches over July 1st, so kind of starting to wrap things up for the year, which means end of year exams and trying to wrap up things with your current patients because you're switching over to a new service on July 1st, so it's been a bit hectic. But I am back here today and I have lots of things to show you. So let's get started. I don't have any cross stitch finishes, but I do have some knitting finishes. So I'm going to show those first and then switch over into cross stitch. So feel free to skip around the video, however you like, because I know some people don't like knitting, some people don't like stitching, which I don't understand because I love both, but whatever. So feel free to skip around to find the parts that you are interested in. I also have 2 new giveaways for today. And actually, maybe I'll start off with the announcement of the winner from last video's giveaway. So I was giving away a PDF pattern called Hello Sunshine, which is a mystery stitch along from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And this started, I believe, May 28th. Haven't started mine yet, but I will get to that. So the winner of this was Melanie McKenzie. So congratulations, Melanie. I commented on your comments. So if you want to send me an email, my email is linked down below. I will get that sent out to you. All right, so let's start off with some of my knitting finishes because I'm very excited about those. So the first one I had showed you last time, and that is my Temperance shawl, which is patterned by Malabrigo, who is a yarn dyer, but they also do patterns. And it's finished. So full disclosure, I have not blocked it yet. And the ends are woven in because I weave in my ends as I go, but I haven't trimmed them because I trim them after I block it. Okay, but here it is. So you start at one end and you kind of gradually increase while fading in the colors. This twisted rib section took forever, but it's beautiful. And there's only one twisted rib section in the whole pattern, so that's great. Some more stripes, some eyelets, and then all kinds of stripes, 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 stripes. So I don't think there's any way you can see the whole thing at once, but it is quite large. So the way it is meant to be worn is with this point in the front and wrapped around to be all cute like this. So yeah, I'm very happy with how this turned out. It was so fun to knit, just to always constantly kind of changing colors, and it was really, really engaging. The first bit had all the different texture stitches, so that did go a bit slower, specifically this twisted rib section, which I think I already mentioned. It took forever. Once that was done and you were into this portion where it's just kind of like fading, I think that's actually the wrong side. It is the wrong side. Once you're into this portion where it's the stripes that kind of just fade into each other, it goes very, very quickly. And it was just so much fun to knit. So that is my Temperance shawl. And it actually, I mean, it looks fairly good for not being blocked. This end will benefit the most from being blocked, just to stretch out the rib and block out the eyelets. But otherwise, it is so pretty. I'll wear it the correct way this time. It's so pretty. And I'm so happy with how it turned out. So that is my Temperance shawl. The yarn I used, so this green yarn is by Brine Dye Works, and the colorway is called Nori, and it's available on her website. The red colorway, you can see that, the red right here. This is by Smash Knits, and the colorway is called Crunching Leaves. And then the other color, which I don't think has a solid section at all, but kind of this lighter color, is by Camp fiber yarns, and the colorway is called Eros and Psyche, and it's part of her Mythology Color of the Month Club. Yeah, so that is my temperance shawl. I'm so happy with it. It was so fun to knit. As soon as I cast it off, I was kind of like, I want to start another one right now. Haven't got to that yet, but it uses 3 skeins of 100-gram fingering weight yarn, and there are plenty of leftovers because I've actually started a pair of socks with my leftovers, but I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, I also have another shawl finish. So this was a start and finish since my last video because once I started it, I could not put it down. So this is the Boneyard shawl, which is a free pattern from Stephen West, and it's a really simple shawl, which would be a great beginner project. And he kind of designed it as like a first shawl pattern, and he goes into a lot of detail about kind of the construction of the shawl and links lots of tutorials within the pattern. So I highly recommend it. It's also just like very fun to knit because it's garter alternating with stockinette, and it's just super fun. So I'll show you a close-up of it first, just to show you the yarn. So this yarn I used is, well, you can see kind of the back there. The yarn I used is from Lion Brand, and it's actually a discontinued yarn. I got this a while ago. So the colorway is called Lady Marmalade, and the yarn is their Heavenly hand-dyed or hand-dyed Heaven yarn, which is 100% nylon. It is so soft. Like it just feels like it's the softest thing I've ever felt. And it is a DK weight. These skeins came in 70-gram skeins, and I used 3 skeins, which was not enough, but I kind of modified the pattern to make it enough. If you use that yarn, which is discontinued, but if you have some in your stash, and I think when I looked on Etsy, I think I saw some, I would recommend 4 skeins if you want to make the pattern as is. But that being said, it did give me a pretty decent sized shawl. So as you can see, it's a triangular shaped shawl, and you start at the top and gradually increase. And so you have stockinette alternating with a garter row, and then increases down the middle and increases on the side. So this again is very cute and a bit smaller, obviously smaller than my other shawl, but it still looks really cute like this. So the modifications I made was you were supposed to do, I think, 13 of these garter ridges, and I only had enough to do 12. And then so I stopped there, and then you were supposed to do 12 rows of garter for the edge, and I only had enough to do 3. But I still think it looks cute, and it used all 3 skeins of this yarn that I had, so that was great. The pattern also has some modifications for fingering weight yarn, in case that's what you have to use instead of DK. But yeah, I am very happy with this. It is very cute and cozy and cuddly, and it's a really nice lightweight shawl, so it's kind of nice for summer evenings. I also did not alternate skeins, and I think it looks fine, which is relieving because as I started to add in the second skein, I was like, oh, I probably should have started alternating from the beginning. Didn't, worked out, thank goodness. All right, so that is my knitting finishes. Let's show you what I've been working on in terms of my stitching. Okay, so since my last video, I have made some progress on one of my mystery stitch alongs, which is the Made to Create stitch along by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And this is a 6-part stitch along. That was a mystery, and I think part 6 comes out June 25th. I am finished 3 parts, I'm only halfway done, but I will eventually finish it. And here's where mine is. Apologies because you can see right through the light is pretty bright. So I finished REA, this will spell create when it's completed. So yeah, I really like this R. I think it looks super cute with the hoop and everything. And I'm stitching this with the called for DMC on 32 count light mocha linen. And I got this as a kit from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. Sally from Caterpillar Cross Stitch very kindly sent me the kit for free. So that was very nice of her. So yeah, I really love this. Super, super cute. So I will get back to that. There is another project that has been taking all my attention, but I'll show you that one last. Okay, the next one I've been working on is Everything in White by Feine Faden, which I'm probably saying completely wrong. It's a German company. And you can get this pattern on the Silk Stitching app, which is an app for Apple devices only. But if you have an Apple device, get the Silk app. It's free. And then you can buy patterns to use on it. It's fantastic. So here's where I'm at. and I love this. So I'm almost done. I think I'm like 75% done, if not more, maybe 80 something percent done. And I'm stitching this with DMC Ecru, 2 strands over 2 on a 32 count purple pansy, I think it's called, something like that. I'll have it linked below by Fabric Flare. And it's this gorgeous, gorgeous fabric. I did kind of get a mark on it from ironing, but I'm pretty sure my stitching will cover it, so it should be fine. This border was kind of annoying to stitch because it was so repetitive, but it looks fantastic and I love it. So yeah, I'm almost done this. My plan was to just stick with this and finish it, but then I got highly distracted by other things. So this will get finished sometime soon, and I love it. And I want it framed and on my wall. And I also love that the middle letter is a giant S, which is my initial. Also, I thought it was kind of funny. Someone mentioned this on Instagram. There's an S, there's an A, and this is a letter M, so it says Sam, and her name was Sam. So I'm like, well, I guess it's our joint sampler because her name's Sam, which is, you know, shows more ownership than just the letter S, which is my first initial. Anyway. Okay, speaking of silk stitching, the next pattern I'm working on is the Quaker's Pride sampler from Silk Stitching. This is a design by Xstitchmd, who is a German designer, which is the name of the designer is Dorothy. She is also the kind of half of the team behind the Silk Stitching app. So this is a stitch along I'm doing along with Stacey from the 911 Stitcher. And I made some progress. I got this motif right here complete. And look how pretty this is. I just love this. This is being stitched with the called for DMC, except I substituted DMC 3865 instead of DMC Blanc, just because it showed up a bit better in my fabric, and I am very happy with that choice. And this fabric is also by Fabric Flare. This is a 36 count hazy gray, which is this lovely mottled hand dyed, and I think Stacey's using the same fabric. So love it. Really enjoying stitching that. I'm using 2 strands over 2, which is my preferred on 36 count. I like the thicker coverage it gives. Also, I'm noticing as I'm like holding this up that my nails are not painted. Guys, like for the past 3 years, I've gotten my nails done like every 3 weeks, but over the past month we were in lockdown in Nova Scotia and nail salons were closed, and I had to peel the shellac off my nails, and they're kind of destroyed now. But our lockdown ended a week ago. Things are back open, so I really need to get a nail appointment done. Got my hair done yesterday, so you know that was exciting. But it's just these little things that you miss when things are in lockdown. Just, you know, your regular self-maintenance appointments. So I'm excited that things are looking up a bit in terms of case numbers are much lower here in Nova Scotia now, and things are starting to open back up, which is amazing. Okay, now let me show you the project that has been consuming like all of my time lately. And this was a project I didn't show on my last video because it was in timeout. And this is my Bonded by the Rain by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm stitching the mini version, which is a little bit smaller than the full size. And I had made a pretty big mistake when I last left it. So I decided I was going to start stitching cross country, which basically means instead of sticking in like a 10 by 10 square or in a diagonal, you just kind of pick a color and just stitch it wherever it appears in the pattern. And I was really enjoying that because I use the app Pattern Keeper, which is an Android only app. And when you tap on a symbol, it will highlight all instances of that symbol on the pattern. So it makes it very easy to see where you're going because you can see all of the instances of that symbol instead of having to like look yourself, and then you can highlight it and it turns it a different color. Use it, it's an amazing app. But so I was doing that and I was picking all the dark colors and stitching them until they were done. So I like did DMC 310, which is black, and I stitched all the black that was in the pattern, and I did that for like a dark blue and all of that. But then I did another blue, and as I was stitching along happily, I realized that like 300 stitches back, I was off by 1. So I needed to rip out like 300 stitches. And I was very mad at that point because I was like, oh, how did I do that? I was so careful, but I wasn't. So that got put in timeout for a couple of weeks because I was just really mad at it. And then in my last video, someone had asked, hey, where's your Bonded by the Rain piece? And I was like, you know what? I need to pull it back out. So a couple weeks ago, it was a weekend. I was like, you know what? I'm motivated. I have an hour or so. I can just pull it out. So I did. And since then, I have not been able to put this down. So I am at 70% complete. So I'll just show it up close here because I mean, it's just so beautiful. I'm stitching this on 18 count Aida, Fiddler's Aida, with the called for DMC, 2 strands over 1 square. And look how beautiful. I just am so obsessed with this piece. It's just so, so beautiful and so fun to stitch. So this blue area here is where I had made the mistake, but I've ripped it out and restitched it, so it's all correct now. But here's what it looks like. If I can get back far enough, all together now. And like, isn't it just so pretty? Like from far away, it literally does look like a painting. So I'm very excited to have this finished and up on my wall so people can be like, oh, where's that painting from? And I can be like, it's cross stitch. And I will do it exactly that way with that face. So there is my Bonded by the Rain. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So yeah, this is pretty much all I've stitched on for the past 2 weeks, which is quite unusual for me. I usually tend to be someone that likes changing what pattern I'm stitching on like every day because I have a very short attention span and like to jump around from thing to thing. So the fact that I've stuck with this for the past 2 weeks has let me get a lot of progress, and I've really just been enjoying it. So yeah, you want to just look at it again because it's so pretty. So what I've been doing currently, so I'm at like 71% complete, right? I just have like this section. So what I've been doing is on Pattern Keeper, it lists all of the, along this side, it lists all of the DMC symbols and colors in numerical order, as well as how many stitches there are of that. So what I've been doing now is starting at the top and just working my way down and completing all of the stitches of that color. So I did that. So I did like DMC 152, which is like one of these lighter pinky colors, and I stitched all the colors of that, or all the stitches of that. And then DMC 153, which is like this purpley color, all the stitches of that. DMC 158, which is one of these blues in here, all the colors of that. So that's been really satisfying because once I stitched all the stitches of that color, and a lot of these, there's like maybe 100 or so stitches left, I can just like take that floss, put it back in my other container, that one's done. There are still a few colors that have like 1,500 stitches left of that color. So those ones are going to take a little bit longer, but overall it's been a really fun way to stitch, and it feels like kind of a mini finish within a bigger project when you finish a color. So that's been really satisfying. I just have to keep showing this because I just love it so much. There's a couple of other Leonid Afromov, who is the artist behind this, patterns that I want to stitch, but I am waiting until I finish this one before I start it. So yeah. Bonded by the Rain and the cute little couple with the umbrella. I love it. Okay. So whoever it was that said, where was Bonded by the Rain last time? Well, you just got a solid like 5 minutes of content of it. So I hope you enjoyed that. All right. I probably should have showed this in my previous knitting finishes section because technically it is a finish, and that is a sock, a cute little shorty sock. So I am knitting this with leftovers from my Temperance shawl. So this is the Eros and Psyche colorway from Camp Fiber Yarns, and this is the Nori colorway from Brine Dye Works. And I think these are super cute. The sock blockers are from Little Red Mitten, which is a yarn store in London, Ontario. So yeah, so let's talk about shorty socks. I've never made shorty socks before, but I didn't have a ton of yarn left. I think I had like 36 grams of this and 16 grams of the green. So I was like, you know what? I can probably get a pair of socks out of that. So what I did is I knit 5 rounds of 1x1 ribbing. Then I knit 5 rounds of leg, and then I did my heel flap and gusset, just a standard slip stitch heel flap and gusset with a garter border, 3-stitch garter border. I did my foot, and then I did my toe. And I just love this. It's so cute. It knits up so fast too because you don't have like a whole leg to do. So I do need to cast on the second sock. I haven't bothered doing that yet, but I will do that soon. My original plan, well, what I meant to do was to knit the heel with the leftover red yarn I had, because I think I had about 6 grams. And based on some rough calculations, I think the toe and the heel each take about 3 grams of yarn. My normal cuff also takes about 3 grams, but I knit a shorter cuff because I only had 16 grams total. Anyway, I meant to knit the heel with the red, and I totally forgot. I just started knitting it the green. I was like, oh, so I have like 6 grams of the red, so I'll just use that for heels on another sock. but I am just so thrilled with these. I think they're so cute, and I'm really excited to knit the second one so I can wear this pair because, you know, longer wool socks are a bit warm to be wearing in the summer, but these are so cute and super fun. So yeah, that is my first shorty sock, first of many. Now, in terms of other sock knitting, I'm kind of obsessed with this new technique, which I haven't fully tried yet, so I'm hoping I like it because I've already started 2 projects using this one. But on Instagram, the Instagrammer Knit All the Socks, which I can't remember her name right now, she posted about knitting vanilla socks. So vanilla sock is just a stockinette all the way down. Knitting them as a tube. So knitting a cuff, knitting a tube of stockinette, and knitting another cuff. And then cutting the tube in half, putting in afterthought toes, and then cutting that at a certain point, each of those in a certain point to put in afterthought, excuse me, sorry for the hiccups, to put in afterthought heels. I've never done that before, but it seemed, I mean, how hard can it be? Other people do it. I'm sure I could do it. I hope. So I tried that out and I thought it would be a great way because I like knitting my socks out of 50-gram skeins because that's plenty long enough for me. But I do want to use up every last inch of it, and it's really hard to know how much to use up when you're using kind of like different yarn dyers, which might have slightly different yardage. So I thought this was a great way to kind of use up a full skein and then put in your heels and toes afterwards. So I finished my first tube mostly. So this yarn is from Timber Yarns, and the cuff is knit in the colorway Ducky, and then the leg and foot is knit in the colorway Exquisite. So there's my tube. I started the other cuff, I just haven't finished it yet. But there's my tube. So what I'm going to do is count the stripes. I haven't done that yet. Count the stripes, and then in the exact middle, I'm going to cut it. So it's probably going to be around, my guess would be around here. So what I'll do is I'll just cut the yarn there. What I'll do first is I'll pick up the stitches with a needle, and then I'll cut it so that I have live stitches on either needle, and then I'll knit an afterthought toe as you would. I've never done that before, but I'm just going to look up a tutorial on YouTube and hopefully it won't be too hard. So then I'll have like a long tube with a cuff and a toe at the end. So you could wear socks like that if you want to. It just might be a bit tight because over your the instep of your foot, it's a bit wider. So then what I'll do is put in an afterthought heel, and my understanding of an afterthought heel is you measure the distance you want your foot to be. So I can just do that by measuring like some of my other socks, like the distance from here to here, and just cut only on one side. So say I would cut like here to here, and then I would knit my heel. So that would open this up, and then I knit my heel coming out. I hope that makes sense. There's lots of tutorials for afterthoughts, heels, and toes. I haven't looked into it yet because I'm not finished this yet, but as soon as I'm finished it, that's my plan to do. And I think I really like just knitting round and round in stockinette because I can do that while I am in a Zoom meeting or watching TV. So that's my plan. So I'm almost done this. I just need to finish the cuff, which is not going to take very long. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. And then I'll have a pair of socks. I assumed I would be able to do it, so I started another tube. Blind optimism. I started another tube and I'm loving this. So the cuff is in a Crux Fibres mini, and it was like a bundle of a bunch of colors. I think it was like called a tropical mini bundle or something. I don't think it's still available on her website, but that's that one. And then this gorgeousness is from Area 51 Fibres, and the colorway is called Dance Like a Flamingo. And it's just so cheery and beautiful. So I'm about halfway. This is my 50-gram ball. So I think I'm about halfway done, and I'm just going to keep knitting until I'm at the end of this ball, and then I'll knit another cuff, and then again I'll cut in the heels and toes because, you know, it's going to be easy to do. Even though I've never done it, I'm just assuming it's going to be easy to do. So if any of you have done it, if you could reassure me that it's easy to do because I've already committed to 2 socks, 2 pairs of socks this way. But yeah, this is just, it's a really fun and relaxing way. I don't have to count or anything. I just knit until my ball of yarn is gone. So that's been great. And these colors are just so pretty. I love it. Love, love, love it. So that's Area 51 Fibres. So those are my 2 pairs of socks in progress, and hopefully by my next video I'll have 2 completed pairs of socks, and I can tell you how easy and simple it is to afterthought heels and how it's not scary at all to cut your knitting. Yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, the last knitting project I have to show is a test knit. I'm doing I'm doing for Erin Ian Designs, and this is the Clonbur Cowl, which is a really beautiful pattern that will be coming out in July. And I'm test knitting it with this beautiful skein. Oh, and for those of you who don't know, test knitting means knitting a pattern before it's been released to kind of give designer feedback on if there's any errors in the pattern, how clear the instructions were, etc., etc. So I'm using this gorgeous bright yarn. It is this bright in person. And this is a 100% superwash merino single ply yarn from Full Moon Fibres, who's a Canadian dyer, and the colorway is called Luminescent, which it is. And here's my progress on the cowl. So we did some twisted rib here, and then this really fun and simple repeat. So I'm really enjoying this. That's my beginning of round marker. But yeah, I'm really liking this, and when it blocks, it's gonna look so beautiful. So yeah, I just thought it'd be a nice bright cowl to have, so I really like it. And the single ply yarn is just nice and fuzzy and beautiful. So that is my cowl. I have to finish this by July 8th, which should not be a problem, as long as I don't get distracted. But yeah, I think this was like 1 or 2 days of work. It knits up really quickly. So yeah, that's my Clonbur cowl. Okay, now as a reward for those of you who have made it this far in the video, now we get to talk about giveaways. So I have 2 giveaways this week, and you can enter for either giveaway. I'm going to give you a code word that you'll include in your comments when you comment below, and then I will use the random YouTube comment picker to draw a name when I next record a video, which hopefully is in 2 weeks, but no guarantees. This week was very kindly sent to me from Meloka Designs, who is a designer I hadn't heard of before, but she has some really beautiful patterns. And she just released a new pattern called the Mandala Giraffe, which, how cute is this? It's a companion piece to her Mandala Elephant, which I hadn't seen before, and it is amazing. And she's coming out with another one soon, which to me, I think is going to be a jaguar. I don't think she's announced what it is yet, but it's just so beautiful, and all the different colors and shapes and such. So because I have so many projects already, I thought I would love to give it away to one of you who would like to stitch this. It's a full kit, so it comes with the floss, 14 count Aida, and a needle. And it also comes with a thread holder. Oh yeah, right here. So you can see all the floss is already pre-sorted on a thread holder, which is great. So there's everything it comes with. There's her website. Highly recommend checking her out. So yeah, this is the Mandala Giraffe. It's so cute. So if you'd like to be entered to win this, leave me a comment below and include the word giraffe somewhere in your comment. You can even just say the word giraffe, that's fine. I will mail this anywhere in the world. Just be aware that it can sometimes take a while for the post office to get things if you're outside of my country, which is Canada. But yes, I'll mail this anywhere. So you include the word giraffe if you'd like to be entered for this beautiful project. Love it. Okay, the other giveaway I have is for a project bag. So on Instagram, the maker behind these project bags, which I'm blanking on your name, I'm so sorry, but her her Instagram page is called Otter Rose, and she is a new project bag maker here in Canada. And she very kindly sent me 2 project bags and told me to keep one that I liked the most and give away the other. It was very hard to decide, but I did make a decision. So here's the first one, which I am keeping. And look at the grumpy cat. It's so cute. I told my boyfriend this is what he looks like. He didn't think it was as funny as me, but you know. So it's so cute. These are really well made. They have a cute little charm, which says, "Made with love." I don't know if you can see that, probably not, but just trust me, that's what it says. And zippered with the nice lining. Look how cute that is. And this is her business card. So Otter Rose, look how cute her logo is. It's so cute. So you can find her on Instagram, Etsy, Facebook, all the things. So yeah, so I'm keeping this one, which is so cute. And then the back is the same adorable grumpy cat fabric. And then the one I have to give away is this very, very sweet little girl print with polka dots. Then the back is also the little girl print. And then the lining on this one is this really sweet, is that flowers or is it hearts? Heart print. And again, the little made with blood charms. So these are super cute, really well made. So I'd love to give this one away. So include the word bag, B-A-G, in your comment. I was about to say, please don't call me a bag lady. And then I was like, I don't know if that's an offensive term or not. And then I just rethought it all. So scratch that. Just use the word bag in a comment. So that is that giveaway. Also, I'm just looking at my pile of stuff here and I realized I forgot to show you one of the whips I'm working on. So rewind, pretend we're still in the whip section, and let me show you this other whip I forgot about. This is a piece I haven't worked on in quite a while, but I was going through my whips the other day, which, you know, sometimes just dig through projects, and I came across this one and I'm like, I need to work on this right now. So the project I'm talking about is the Bristol Sampler pattern, which is in the Gift of Stitching magazine. So this is a magazine that ran from, I think, 2006 to 2012. It was a digital magazine. It's no longer being published, but you can purchase back issues on their website, which is tgosm.com. I'll link that below as well. They had a bundle a while back where you could buy all issues of the magazine. So like it was like 80 issues or something for like $40. It was ridiculously cheap. So I bought it then. They might still have that deal or they might not. But regardless, I think each individual issue is like $6. So if you just want to buy this issue for this beautiful pattern, I highly recommend it. So this was in the final issue of the magazine, which I believe was May, June 2012. And the designer is Waldechamps, who is WDC Designs. And I don't think she's currently still designing, but she has some gorgeous stuff. All that being said, here is where I'm at. So I love this. Why do I love this? I love stitching alphabets. Some people think, why do you need to stitch the alphabet a million times? To which I say, because I like it. And so I'm really, really enjoying this one. So when I picked this back up, I stitched this letter, this letter, this letter, and this letter. So I think right along this line here was the first page. And yeah, I am loving this. I'm stitching this with sulky threads, which I have right here. So let me show you. I think this colorway is called Royal Purple, and the number on it is 712-112. It's this really beautiful purpley color. It doesn't show up great when I take pictures of this, but it's this beautiful, beautiful purple. I was originally going to stitch this in a red. I have a lot of red samplers, so I decided to switch it up, and I am loving this, although sometimes I'm like, I should stitch it in red, but I do like this purple. So I'm using one strand of sulky, it's a thicker floss, over 2 threads, and this is a 37 count linen. The colorway is called Russian Tea Cake, and it's by Access Commodities. And it's this lovely thick linen. It's really beautiful to stitch on. I love it. And it's on a giant piece. I don't even know how big this piece is, but it's like massive because it's a massive sampler. So that's my little part. And I love it. So that was really fun to stitch on. I'm stitching this as a stitch along with Tiffany from Tiffany Stitches, and Yamir from Almond M&Ms was stitching this 1/1 and 56 count. To be honest, Yamir, haven't seen some progress pictures, so I'm wondering if 56 count got the better of you. Just kidding. She can stitch probably on 80 count 1/1. It's absolutely amazing. Okay, so that was the last whip that I had to show. So, okay, I think that's everything I have to talk about this week. So reminder, just for the giveaways, use the word bag if you want to be entered for the project bag. Use the word giraffe if you want to be entered for the giraffe pattern. And again, I'll mail either of those anywhere in the world, so anyone can join. All right, so that's all I have for today. Thanks so much for checking out my latest video. I really appreciate all of you who watch and leave such lovely comments. It means so much to me. And if any of you have the urge to kind of provide any kind of financial support in terms of being able to mail out giveaways or anything like that, I have a link below for to buy me a coffee, which is just a way some people like to support me, and no pressure whatsoever. It's just there in case. I've had some people say, how can I send you money to help pay for giveaways and all that stuff? And don't feel any pressure to anyway. I can take care of it, don't worry. But if you feel so inclined, there is the link below. All right, that's all I have for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you again in a couple weeks. Hopefully you're getting out to enjoy the sunshine. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.